Good morning, everybody. It's Natalie. It's Hotshot Adventures. You guys, I have been wanting to put this video together for you, and there was some editing involved. I needed to do some editing and obviously edit out some of the things that I said to this lady. Anyways, I should say the backstory. How this happened, what the situation was. I had just finished making a delivery up in the mountains off of a dirt road in Northern California, and you know, I guess she didn't like the way I was driving. That's fine, but the point of this video, you guys, is it's not her. The point is safety. There's a reason why, you guys, for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway that I did, $400 on a Garmin that had a dash cam on it. For the second giveaway, the 5K giveaway that I did for you guys, that it was a dual dash cam. A reason behind it is, just to put it bluntly, safety. For those of you who are just looking at the business, or for those of you who are not new but do not have these tools, these safety tools, strongly suggest probably some of the most important tools that you can have. More important than the truck, the trailer, the everything. It's human nature. I don't agree with it. I try to be as honest as possible. But it is human nature to lie, and people are liars, and that's just the bottom line. For those of you who have ever gone through an accident in a personal vehicle before, just imagine that times 10 or times 100. When you're driving commercially, 9.5 times out of 10, if an accident occurs, the blame will be placed on the commercial carrier. And that's me, and that's maybe you guys who are out there watching this video. This is inexpensive equipment that you're not going to realize you need until something happens. And then you realize once cops come out to the scene, or cops come out to the scene, and then what's a police report, you guys? Do you guys even know what a police report is? The cop separates the two parties, right? And he goes over here to party number one and says, okay, what happened? And then that person tells their story, and then he says, yeah, writes it down, and all the report is going to say is, party number one says this. I mean, I could say I was flying my rainbow colored unicorn off the I-5 north, and this lady shot me out of the sky. I mean, then the cop's gonna go to party number two and say, okay, party number two, what happened? And the same thing, he's gonna write down whatever party number two says, and then there's your report. Not too many people are stopping for other people on the road when they see an accident. They just breeze right by, unless they think there's somebody that's seriously hurt. I do still believe that people will stop, and have stopped. I've stopped to pull people out of cars, when they've been in a serious accident and the car is starting to smoke. It's like, oh my God, I don't care, I'm gonna pull this person out. But a lot of times people don't stop. You don't have a witness. The next best thing that is always watching are these cameras, and big rigs are using them. Proof with cameras is the best way to CYA. I wanted to kind of share my experiences with you guys. I have pretty much run the 11 Western United States. That being said, I have had the only issues that I've ever had at the scales have been in California, and the only issues that I've ever had with private parties or people on the road have been in California. And I am based out of California. I'm born and raised in Southern California. This is not like a new area for me, or like I'm not familiar with the roads or the way people drive, or I'm very familiar with all of this. The only issues I have had have been in California. So I know you guys are gonna all leave comments. That's why you should be out of California. That's why I never go to California. That's why blah, 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 blah. And yes, a lot of that you guys do have a leg to stand on. And that's why insurance for California is so expensive. This is not the first time. I did a delivery in Redding, California, off of the beaten path, but it was Redding. I believe it was Redding, California, right in the beginning, when I started driving for my company. And I was with Lexi and I was with my sister, and there was no way. We just dropped off an old F-150 to a receiver. There was no place for me to turn around. Like, I drove down this windy road, and I kept looking at my GPS, and there was no place I could find to turn around. So I swung into somebody's driveway, and this old badger of a man, he must have been in his 70s, and I'm pretty sure he was drunk. He comes out, and he was very violent, speaking very violently, and he went, and I was just like, okay, like, I got it, like, chill out, dude. I understand. I'm in your driveway. I'm trying to, turn around. So I was trying to talk to him. Well, he comes up to the door. I have the window down about this much. Comes up to my door, and he grabs my door handle and pulls it. And this was when Lexi and I learned that we always lock our doors, no matter what. I mean, she is constantly on top of it for locking her doors, because it really did scare her. And this man was not in his right mind, okay? And like I said, he was in his 70s. I could have popped out and dropped his ass, okay? But that's not the point. The point is, I had family with me. I am a brand new commercial carrier, and I am on somebody's property. So he goes and pulls the door handle, and stupid me, it's unlocked. And he opens my door. And now I'm standing halfway out of the truck. I had to put it in park. I'm dealing with this old man who's not in his right mind. And, I've got two ladies in the car that are also trying to get out. And it was a mess. It was truly a mess. Somebody else finally came out of their house and basically kind of grabbed the guy. I had to kind of push him away, and, was able to get my door closed and turn around. And, that was just a really bad, that was the first experience that I had where I realized, shit, this is something I was not expecting. This was not something that I was expecting, especially in a truck full of ladies. But it goes to show you, you just never know. You never know where people are in their minds, and you never know what could happen. Then this is the other experience. Let's just get into it. This lovely lady. So I was in Sacramento about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. In Sacramento, I picked up a partial load. It was 10 feet, 2,500 pounds. One piece was going to McLeod, California. Beautiful little city. Oh my God, I fell in love with the little city. I took all kinds of pictures. Of course, it's fall, so the leaves are turning, and it was very, very beautiful. And so spent the night, at a hotel in McLeod, California, and then that morning had breakfast. And I go to drop off this one piece. Now, from the little town of McLeod, that's why I kind of put the map for you guys. The little town of McLeod to my delivery was 9 miles total, okay? Now, and it's mostly all highway except for like the last maybe 2 miles. So once you get off the paved road, you get onto these dirt roads, and I guess people have purchased maybe 2 acre, 5 acre, whatever plots in the pine trees, okay? In the pine trees, in the forest, and they're building houses, right? So I didn't see the speed limit sign. I'm not going to say that there wasn't one. It's very rural, so I didn't see a speed limit sign. And I go drop off my one piece, right? Turn around in the people's property, on their property, and I'm heading out to leave. Like I said, it's maybe 2 miles, 1.5 miles, 2 miles from that person's property where I dropped off the one piece to the paved highway. Now, this lady came out from, I guess, the dirt road. She came out from the dirt road and she followed me. She followed me and she honked her horn, and she like came up next to me, and she was like, she had her window rolled up, but you could see what she was saying, and she was like, slow down. And I just kind of looked at her and I'm all, you know, I probably shouldn't have done that, but I'm just me, whatever. So I stuck my tongue out at her, right? Because I'm like, dude, I ain't got time for you. So I guess she just didn't like that. I guess she just was very offended. So she decided to follow me another mile or two down the road. And then finally, once we got onto like a straightaway of the paved road going back into town, she, it's just one way, one lane, one way, and one lane the other. It's 2-lane highway, right? She pulls up on the opposite side of the road to cut me off, right? And so her truck is blocking my truck. I have to stop. And she gets out and she's like, you know, I couldn't leave the audio in there, you guys, because I just couldn't. But she comes to the window and another nutbag, okay? She put her hand on my door handle. So she cuts me off. There's other oncoming people coming, you know, and they kind of have to like go around her as she tells me, I crack my window and she tells me, oh, blah, 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 blah. I know your company's name, and, you know, you can't go over 15 miles an hour on the dirt roads here, and you're causing dust, and I want to let you know it's a $500 fine for speeding on these dirt roads. And, you know, I'm just like, yeah, okay, yeah. I said my choice words to her, and then I guess she had a moment of clarity, and she just got back in her car, flipped me off, got back in her truck, flipped me off, and took off. But the point is, you guys, this is the most important thing. You never know where people's minds are. You really don't. They don't check whether you're 5150 or mentally stable or, you know, anything like that. They don't check that at the DMV. DMV, if you can pass the test and you physically, you know, have all of the capabilities of driving, then they'll give you a license. You could be batty as all hell and they'll probably still give you a license, okay? I mean, you just don't know where people's minds are, especially right now during COVID. You know, people have lost people have lost jobs, people don't know where their next meals are going to come from, or whether they're going to be able to pay their bills or their mortgage. And since we don't know where people's minds are, you know, I probably shouldn't have stuck my tongue out at that lady, but I didn't think, it was just like, it was just like an automatic reaction. It's like, get out of my way, move, you know. I don't have time for you, going to Oregon. So these are things that I didn't expect, and I've been in the transportation industry for a long time, and I've heard a lot of stories and stuff like that, but these are things that I didn't expect when I first started driving. And I'm a female, you know, I'm a woman, and I'm normally with my teenage daughter, and no amount, it doesn't matter if you got new equipment, old equipment, whatever, get cameras and come up with a plan. You know, if somebody does get your door open, what are you going to do? What safety precautions do you have? You know, I have pepper spray in my door, in every door actually, and those are some safety precautions that I've taken. You can never be too prepared. And when it comes down to it, like this old lady, same thing like as with the old man. I could have jumped out of my truck and had her ass on the ground so quickly and so easily. It wouldn't have been an issue. But you know, you've got to think about it. Like, I had to play that tape all the way through very quickly, and you've got to think about it. You've got to come up with a plan. I could have pepper sprayed her too, but then I would have had to call the cops and prove why I pepper sprayed her because she, you know, did this or that, whatever. Now, that's why we have the cameras, because had she continued to put pressure on me, I would have de-escalated the situation. It was easier, you know. I let her blow off her little 5 seconds of steam, and she flipped me off, got in her car, and drove away, and that was it. If you don't have cameras, it's your word against their word, and it's scary and it's dangerous. I gave up an office job, right, for this, and I'm no longer in the safety of a safe little office. Now the truck is my office, and it is my residence, and it is everything when I'm out on the road. Now, that being said, in order for me to protect that, equipment, I need to be prepared, and I need to be prepared with a plan. I need to be prepared with cameras. I need to be prepared with, just, you know, running scenarios through my mind. And these are things that, you know, I want you guys to think about. I want you guys to consider, because this is not situations that have happened to me just since I've started were not what I would have ever thought I was going to encounter. And it's happened. Like, it's happened. Old people, right? And I'm like, I love old people. I don't know what it is. And it's not just in the country, you guys. You know, in the city, people drive aggressively. They don't care. They know you have to stop. And I mean, they'll come, you guys watch videos. There's a million videos on YouTube of truck drivers with their dash cams. I mean, people will just come right into your lane and slam on the, slam on the brakes. And they don't realize, you know, they don't realize what it takes to stop a vehicle. They don't realize what they're doing when they do something like that. You know, they're messing with our livelihood. It's inevitable. When you spend 11 hours, you know, 14, 12 hours behind the wheel on a daily basis, and you're putting in the amount of miles that we put in, not just me. I mean, I average 2,000 miles a week times 52 weeks. That's a lot of miles in 1 year. And when you're out there for that long, it's bound to happen. Something's bound to happen. And it's just the safety aspect, you guys. I cannot stress it enough. Even, especially also for the load. Like, I'm not even talking about, now, you know, there's cameras that you can put on your trailer for proof of loads, you know, so you can go back and say, no, I didn't do that. Look at where the forklift driver has his forks. You know, proof is so much better than your word these days. It used to be the other way around. And now, with the way the world is and everything, we have to have our word, and we also have to have something to back it up. This company is now my livelihood. You know, not just myself, but my family relies upon it. And it's not something that I take lightly. And so just be safe out there, you guys. Thank you for watching. And if you don't have cameras, you better go get them.